Good plays, bad plays. Capturing the fall. OniviaLPLhighlights got them all. Every moment, every fight. OniviaLPLhighlights keep the fire alive.
But also, how good a pick that is off meta can be.
Oh dear, there's the flash grasping roots. Deft able to walk out of it, but he still has to walk in the wrong direction, and first blood goes to FaZe. That is about as bad as it could have gone for King.
Because what happened there was Canyon walks top, takes 2 grubs, then sees that the dragon is being taken because KT into these carries as Canyon and FaZe. They are...
Yeah, Q will then slow with its plants. But instead just going for max damage, will be able to cut through anyone that walks up to them. But it does mainly is the Pyro. It's alright. Deft gonna have to give up this turret. Absolutely. As Pureshik rotating around, you can see Lehens. He really wanted to find that Zenith Blade, but doesn't get an opportunity just yet. As Roterald is going to fall down. Keen getting kited. That is a decent encore onto 3. Perfect into the backline. Finds his counter-strike on everyone. Strangle Thorns is there defensively, but BDD finds the ulti at KT. They managed to manufacture a team fight, and it has not looked better. Outside of that part there where Keen manages to kill Perfect. Jovi trying to go 1v4. That ain't gonna work. And Deft is gonna kill his ex-teammate, KT. They needed that.
It's the one!
With that one, I don't think Gen.G are really too worried. They're also going to be able to grab their second dragon of the game. That will very, very quickly go down. Silly.
Yeah, I think the KT comp is still...
I know, it's cool. It's a cool comp. How does it feel so...
Again, looking for a play on him here.
Pureshik is still going to throw out the ulti, but isn't able to catch him in the Valkyrie there. A little bit of a shame. And Canyon, he's going to try his hand at hitting some abilities. Doesn't have that Rylai's completed just yet. As the turret just gets, whispered at, and that is going to fall down. As they will start off this dragon once again. There's the flash forward, flash out from Beryl, though, as FaZe immediately cleanses the Glacial Prison. And Deft feeling pretty safe at this point in time. Finds the arrow onto Canyon. There's the knock up, but the Strangle Thorns has gone down. It's Perfect that gets FaZe out of the fight, though, and there is the kill onto Canyon that he finally finds. This time, though, FaZe is still alive, and Keen just slices him up and gets out of there. Deft wanting to get a bit of damage back, as there's the counter-strike from Perfect. The arrows are raining through, though, and Perfect just wanting to find a pace. Getting kited, and Deft finds the 1v1 at the end. It's a teleport to bring Keen back in, though. And I don't know whether Deft wants to go for that.
Keen is about to TP back in.
This is this is the time in the Matrix where they're like, he's beginning to believe. Because now finally, they're about to, get closed in on in a fight, and they just say, we win these.
Oh.
And they did, as Beryl very excited about the situation. As once again, Perfect on a flank angle. Gen.G full information. Goshik getting down low. Deft trying to find these volleys as Perfect gets into that backline. Another Stranglethorn's used on just the Jax, but it may work out here as it's a decent knockback. They take down the top laner, and Keen is absorbing so much BDD. He finds both carries in the backline, and FaZe is wiped out. This time, though, they managed to get Deft, and I think that Gen.G have enough damage left available, and Pureshik and Beryl will not be able to do it. Pureshik will at least have the last laugh, as he's the one that decides his fate. But Beryl is walking the wrong direction, and Lehens is just going to let him go. They don't want to waste their time because they just want to take this Baron.
That fight might end up deciding the game, as the Rebel Baron power play for Gen.G, I'm sure, is going to be massive.
I would say Beryl going to be shielding them up, trying to do what he can to keep them healthy, but all the while, Keen not there. He's on the top side, putting that
threat of that ultimate, in that they don't just pile up behind us.
Well, there it is! BDD finds all of them with that ulti. They do manage to at least get the kill on the Yone, and I think maybe the wallets are a bit too heavy, because look at that, the double from the grave for Canyon, as he then just finds himself a forbidden book from the library. Very, very cute stuff. As okay, Perfect and Beryl, the last man standing, and I thought that was going to be it. That was the Wombo combo. That was the sick play. KT find a team fight. Now, it's just the Zyra presses her buttons before she dies.
Okay, times. And Chovy is still just topping the damage charts.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a tough task with Canyon here. It all just comes back to Corki and Chovy in particular.
Yeah, can't believe.
Knocking down all of these turrets. It's now 7-2. I think it's coincidence, okay? Just does not exist.
I keep hoping for KT to find an even better angle. I just don't know if it's there.
Well, Solar Flare is going to slow down Deft as now they do find an encore. We'll see whether that's it. It's just not. Barrel explodes like a balloon, and at least King gets knocked up, but he's just not taking damage. He dives in, gets the all-out onto Pyoshik. Flash out from Deft, but his health bar is just too low, and Chovy is going to push Perfect out of there. They keep everyone alive, and Gen.G, I think this is the push for the end here in game number 1.
See if they actually take down the Nexus or if they decide.
That's sort of it. I'm so glad we got to the bottom of it.
What do you expect would happen? Like, the map opens up and there's a new side quest?
Yeah.
Look at the base! Look at the base!
The Winions are getting the work done here, but KT, we know that they are committed to finding a team fight. Perfect gets himself over. Lehens was waiting for him, is now Chovy. He's going to get stunned up. Pays is going to fall down, and Perfect goes golden, avoids the Strangle Thorns. The team fight's beautiful. We're trying to ignore the fact that the base is just getting torn to shreds anyway. There's the 1-for-1 in the end, but it's not really a 1-for-1 because Gen.G just needs to keep the busy. BDD, he doesn't manage to get Chovy, and Chovy once again doesn't have to flash. It's a double kill for Canyon, and Deft is the last man standing. Frostshot gonna try and slow him down, but we can see those really large red markers, and here we are now. Back into the base as the minions have just spawned, but there are supers here, and this is over. That's the ace for Gen.G. And KT, they found a couple of fights. That was really cool, but there was just nothing they could do in the end.
A roller coaster of a game. Was it though? Well.
Plays bad plays, capturing the fall. OniviaLPLhighlights got them all. Every moment, every fight. OniviaLPLhighlights keep the fire.
About where you want to go, because you just kill these camps so incredibly fast. As Beryl is going to get hooked, and they hadn't backed, and he's not going to be able to heal. He does manage to get himself the shield, but that is once again first blood. This time, no Canyon required for the...
And Canyon, one of the big weaknesses that I do think you have with the Zyra is obviously, if you fall behind in tempo, I think the pick is really hard to play, right? If you start getting invaded, if you're getting pressured. Look at the prio they have in their lanes!
Yeah, and BDD is trying to rotate over as Keen is just wandering through the enemy. Ahead by more than a wave. Up against BDD here as there's Hex Flash, and Lehens gonna get slowed down momentarily, doesn't quite find that hook. As now Deft able to avoid the extendo beam. Ulti from Pays. Beryl doesn't have his available, nor does Deft. They do want to be able to kill a minion or two to try and get level 6. As now Pays gonna get turned on. Still level 5 to level 6 from Pays, but in comes Canyon. There's the flash. Doesn't manage to get too much, but there is the hook from Lehens to lock down the kill for Pays. See where he needs it though, as this big wave is stacking up, and Deft, oh no, the grasping roots will connect for Pyoshik. He'll turn up immediately to get knocked up into the sky. Canyon locks down that first kill, and there's a hook once more. KT, it looked rough in game 1. It is looking absurdly difficult here in game number 2. Oh man, all right. Lehens, can he find the hook? Will he need to find the hook, I guess, is the question. As Pyoshik is going to flash it.
Again!
He's going to finish 2 items, and he's going to use it to kill a Nexus. As Lehens misses a hook, so that might be an opportunity here for KT, who have done a damage to a turret here. As now BDD fighting against Chovy, but Canyon, he shows up. Pyoshik in the area. He'll find a Glacial Prison this time. They get the knock-up. Ulti comes through as well. Can they kill Canyon? The answer is yes, as it's the arrow landing from downtown that collects it. And so Deft is on the board. He may immediately get punished as the hook goes completely wide. Deft still having the flash available as he uses it when he doesn't. He just makes it over to the rest of his team. Canyon going to be able to lock down Drake number 2. And once again, it is that Chemtech Soul. Uses his plants in order to save a couple of turret shots from these minions. They don't necessarily be needed, but still cool little. This time Keen able to move in. He's going to play that front line. They managed to get the charge. It was Lehens, and Lehens is going Rift King. Clipping through the walls and may just die. But it was very cool drifting, Lehens. Really nicely done.
Look
Love
at his
that.
face. Look at his face!
As this dragon has been started up, soul point available for Gen.G as they teleport in. Chovy looking to make his way over. Pyosik using the walk tactic very nicely, but so's Keen, and his does some damage. Pyosik gonna have to get out of there. Permafrost does come on through. There's the ulti, but Pays just dodges out of the way. And BDD not gonna have that for this next fight. Now Lahen's moving down, wanting to find that rocket grab. We'll see whether he can get it as flashes abound. And that is another one. The ulti just gonna pick it up. Speaking of ultis, Lahen's uses his circle as well. The bottom lane is eviscerated, and Gen.G never even really need to go for too much of a fight.
With the flash ultimate, right?
Yeah.
The guarantee to play.
I like how Pays kills Beryl with the ultimate, which is a circle around it.
We'll do a little bit better.
And you were talking about item spikes. Chovy's hit a few of them now. He's 3,000 gold ahead. Perfect is probably dead here. As does manage to sidestep that one quite nicely, but the knockup still does come through, and Pei's gonna lock up his fourth. And that should mean
far behind. We'll see. KT can maybe get some exit kills, maybe get a Hail Mary team fight.
All right, there's a Glacial Prison as Pyosik tries to find it. The arrow goes entirely wide, though, unfortunately. Redemption is not going to be found in this game as the Extendo Beam is going to force the ultimate out of BDD. He's running away with about 400 health, and Pyosik, he is a bit Owen Wilson, but I just don't think that's going to be the answer here as Keen, he's even going to look for him. Does not want to risk any sort of response. As, yeah, Lahen's over the wall, Chovy over the wall, and there is the hook. That's going to connect. Chovy's going to lock it up with a rocket. And so there it is. BDD is the only one that does now have 3 items that have armor in them. One of them being the one with all of the armor in it.
Yeah.
He was already ignoring everything.
Yeah, he's sitting at, well, I saw 290 there.
Yeah. Goodness, the damage is just ridiculous. And they still have more in the tank, right? Canyon still with the Stranglecorns available as there is the Grasping Roots. He throws down that ultimate like I was talking about. And Perfect, he has to get Wild Growth, but he's still taking so much damage. The hook is going to be avoided, so he'll be able to make it back to the fountain. But after they get their health bars back, where does the good news start for KT in this game?
There's no good news, Atlas. We both know that.
Yeah, it is.
It's not happening.
It's rocks in hard places, as we do like to talk about here in the LCK. And KT desperately trying to hold on, but it is just not going to work. It's 14,000 gold. Chovy walks at Deft, and Deft could do nothing about it as the rockets rain down. Nexus turret 1 will fall down. Nexus 2 sure to follow. And Gen.G just looking for a few extra kills as they melt them on their fountain. The MSI champions just toying with KT here, the only team that's been able to beat them in a best-of series this year, and it did not happen in the first round robin of summer. That's absolutely for sure.